No, you're not doing 2. You're doing 1.
No, I'm doing 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what it says. Because he mentioned my name. They thought it was only going to be those 3 recording. And then he ended
Oh.
up no, hold on a minute. You're not going to sit here and do nothing. Well, I don't get paid here, so I'm just coming here.
Well, he didn't sit here and do like the last time he was here. He didn't do anything. He doesn't get paid, so he doesn't have to do anything. He can really just watch if he doesn't really. I muted this stream just because the game hasn't started yet, so no point.
Why don't you go up there, record, and then that way I'll kind of you can start when you're ready.
All right, yeah, I muted it for now because
We're live right now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sterling Channel 19 for an afternoon rendition of Sterling Knights baseball between the Sterling Silver Knights and the Collingswood Panthers. I'm Brian McLaren, joined by my co-host Kevin Schulz. How you doing, Schulz?
Good. Brian, how are you? Glad to be on here with you. I know we it was a couple weeks ago. We were at West Deptford, had a lot of fun there. The game wasn't fun. It was close at one point, but then West Deptford just had that big inning, and that was it. But glad to be here.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts about today?
I think Sterling has a good chance. They've won 2 of their last 3. I mean, yesterday they didn't have quite the game they were looking for, as they lost to Highland 6-0, only getting 2 hits in total.
And that's been a problem for them. The hit lack of offense, and I know some errors on defense have really hurt them.
So Ryan Chandler on the mound. He'll face Miles DeVaquintis.
And we have our nice big screen here.
Giant monitor this time.
Yep.
In there for a strike. Chandler, 18 innings pitched. He is 1-2 as a starter this year.
But it's thrown well. From what I've heard, he's really done a nice job keeping him in games. Again, I think, the errors have hurt a lot of the pitchers. But he'll, if you make the plays behind him, he does a good job at keeping hitters off balance.
Popped up, that will go foul.
And of course, this is the second time around going against Collingswood. We played Collingswood there, had a nice lead. I was at that game. It was a real cold, windy day, and we just kind of fell apart. I believe it was like in the 6th inning that we had some errors, and not to make excuses, but the conditions were horrible with a lot of wind, but it was definitely a winnable game.
That's up in foul ground. He'll make the catch. That's Zach Wright.
Zach Wright. That's a nice job.
So 1 away here in the top half of the first. Here's Noah Waldron.
Take care of your leadoff hitter in the inning, get ahead of the hitters, and make the plays. So I'm not telling you anything you don't already know.
Oh, yeah.
That's been the blueprint for being successful.
First pitch
forever.
in there for a strike.
And this is a game they have to win
This
for power points to get in the playoffs.
hit out towards right center field. And that is caught for the second out.
That was Christian Valeriano.
Using that speed out there in right center
Yeah.
field.
That's like an out pattern, going out there and getting to it. And that's what that's where you see those crossover skills from football, being a receiver, having your guy as a center fielder, just going after it and getting under it.
Here's Nate Ifey, the shortstop here for Collingswood. First pitch from Chandler is a strike. Here's the 0-1. That's out towards left. And that will drop in for a hit. First knock of the day for Collingswood.
One of those ones that looked like it was hit a little harder than it was. And I think that might have
that was a
thrown us off a little bit.
nice swing of the bat by Ifey. So this will bring up A.J. Justice. 2 down, runner on first. Runner at first takes his lead. Making sure Ifey's awake out there at first. That will go foul. 0-1 to Justice.
Nice day out here.
Oh yeah, beautiful weather. Not too hot, not too cold. Perfect. Foul again, 0-2.
One of those late swings. Again, when you see a swing like that, that tells you the hitter's just a little fooled or a little off balance, and that's one of the things that Ryan Chandler brings to the table.
A lot of variety in his pitches.
Sure, sure.
0-2 to Justice. Again, runner at first, 2 gone. Throws back to first.
And it's amazing how many pitchers we've had over the years that didn't necessarily throw hard, but they threw strikes and they could mix things up.
Runner goes from first swing, and it struck him out. And a great start for Sterling. So base runner for Collingswood, but nothing left. We go to the bottom of the first, no score. We'll be right back when action continues.
All right.
All right, so we're back. Here in the bottom half of the first, Sterling will get their hitting going.
Real nice first inning by Ryan Chandler. You could see that last strikeout. Looked like it was a backdoor breaking ball. Had the hitter leaning and just kind of taking a defensive swing right there. And again, really had the hitters off balance in that first inning.
So on the mound today is Tim Search for Collingswood.
Definitely not somebody that looks like they throw very hard. Looks like, you know, you've got a change-up, breaking ball, the normal pitches, but it's a matter, again, of commanding it. And
He's definitely got a good location.
yeah.
Brandon Williams will be the leadoff for Sterling.
And getting ahead of the hitters, that's a big thing. I mean, you always look when they show you what hitters' averages are with 1 and 2 counts, 0 and 2 counts, as opposed to their averages when it's 3 and 1, 2 and 0. It's a huge difference.
So Williams the leadoff. Here's the first pitch from Tim Search. Out towards short. That's up the middle into center field. And on the first pitch Williams sees, he gives Sterling their first hit of the game.
You know, that's a big thing offensively for confidence for this team. It hasn't been hitting a whole lot, is to get that leadoff hitter on.
Here's Christian Ruiz.
I feel like he might be moving him over with a sacrifice, and that's what we're going to
Like a
see.
sacrifice
Yeah,
punt.
and that's a good job.
Throw to first is in time. Great sacrifice bunt from Ruiz, as that'll move the runner over to second.
Give yourself the best opportunity. And I know in the major leagues they don't do it much anymore
Oh, no.
because they play for the home run and really don't play much of a small ball game at all anymore. But
I think that's like just the key to just getting wins. I think small ball, is just way more effective.
and even, you know, maybe if you're not going to do it as much as they did in the past because analytics says so, regardless if you agree with or disagree. Up, line out. That's a shame. That's a tough one. That was a hard hit ball there by Joe Lomas.
So Joe Lomas lines out to third. I'll be second out for Sterling. Here's Anthony Gogolski.
But I agree with you, Brian. There still is a place for it. And I agree with what Coach did right there with having moving the runner over and giving yourself a couple chances with the runner in scoring position.
Out there to short. That is off the glove of the shortstop. So that'll be runners on the corners with two gone. Here's Zach Reich.
That's a good job by Anthony Gogolski there, hitting the ball where it's pitched, and that's it's always good to see, using all the different fields in the outer part of the plate. And he went to it with the left side.
See a lot of first pitch swinging for Sterling here early. So again, here's Zach Reich. Runners out the corners, two away. That's it out towards center field. Catch is made, and that will end the inning. So Sterling not able to come home with anything here as they leave two runners on. We'll go to the top of the second. No score here at the Castle. All right, so top of the second. Still no score here at the Castle. Sterling left a couple of runners on in the bottom of the first. Sterling got off to a good start in the top half of the first, only getting one base runner on. Tim Search will be the leadoff hitter here in the top of the second for Collingswood. And the first pitch from Chandler. Out, that'll be up the middle into center field, a base hit. And again, it's that first pitch swinging that we've seen a lot from today.
And you haven't had ironically, probably the hardest hit ball was the line drive out to third base.
Oh yeah, that's
But
for sure.
they're just finding the right spots.
So it looks like there'll be a pinch runner. So Ben Arbach is up to the plate. Runner at first, nobody out. Chandler throws back to first.
Yeah, just trying to keep them close.
That's just a bit outside, 1-0.
And that's that backdoor breaking ball that he's had success with. Got the strikeout to end that first inning.
Here's the 1-0 from Chandler. In there for a strike. That'll even up the count at 1-1.
Another pitch that's placed well. You know, we talked about the backdoor breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. That one down at the knees. You keep the ball down, you'll get a lot of ground balls and pop-ups. You elevate it, and that's when you get guys driving the ball on you.
Throw back to first, not in time.
We still haven't seen his best move to first.
No,
But I
not
think
yet.
if there's, you know, somebody gets on there, and the leads aren't that long at first, so he's not going to waste one on that.
Runner goes from first. The throw down to second base is not in time. I believe his foot got under the tag. So Collingswood now has a runner in scoring position. So it's a 1-2 count to Arbach. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Second K for Chandler.
And one of the few breaking balls we've seen on the inner part of the plate. So that's, you know, granted, he's had success in the outer part of the plate, but you want to keep hitters off bounds, because if you get too consistent and beat in one spot, they'll get an inch a little closer to the plate. But that was a good job of coming in on the hitter and getting another strikeout.
Justin Pila to the plate. Runner at second, one gone. Pitch just a bit outside, 1-0.
It's tough for us to see here, but I thought that might have been a two-seamer, which for a left-hander is good against the right-hander here because it goes away from the hitter.
Out toward the mound. Out to short, throw to first is in plenty of time. So the runner from second will advance to third.
Good job by Sean Stone charging that ball.
That was a great job by the shortstop as it went off the glove of Chandler and pretty much right into the glove of Stone at short. He's able to make the terrific throw to first. Here's Andrew Shell. Pitch is low, 1-0. Sterling with an opportunity to keep this top half of the second scoreless. Out to short. On a hot throw to first in time. And another great defensive inning for Sterling as they're able to keep this game scoreless. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score here at the Castle. All right, we're in the bottom of the second. No score. Collingswood left a base runner on at third. So here's Sterling's opportunity. It'll be Ryan Chandler to lead it off.
Oh yeah, huh? I'm slow.
So Chandler will lead it off.
Both teams kind of in the same, at the same level here when you're talking about in the standings. Strong at 2-8. Collingswood, I believe, they're 3-8. So both teams having the same type of year.
First pitch in there, first strike.
Collingswood had a left-hander a couple years ago. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he was good. Threw in like the high 80s. I believe he went to University of Kentucky, but he was tough. He knew how to pitch too. Not only had the speed, but
I believe Coach Hoffman was talking to me about that earlier today.
yeah, he could locate. Had a real nice changeup, and really, you know, sometimes you get guys that throw into the 90s that will blow you away. Didn't really blow people away, but just mix things up.
That's out into the left. Catch made for the first out. Sterling getting some contact. It's just, for the most part, not really finding ways to get on base besides just hitting the ball right to the fielder.
Yeah, I mean, but they're putting their bats on the ball, and you know, we've seen this happen to Sterling where they've made errors in the field, and obviously, usually if you're a 3-8 team like Collingswood, you're in the same predicament where you're not making a lot of plays, and yeah, the more plays you force them to make, the better chances you have of getting on base. It's the games where you have 10 and 12 strikeouts that drives you crazy, or a lot of strikeouts looking can drive coaches nuts.
So it's now 0-2 to Christian Valeriano. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Low and away, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 from Search. Just a bit high, 2-2. Valeriano trying to stay alive. And the 2-2 pitch is a called strike 3.
2-2, looked like he went to the breaking ball and just got it and put it in a good spot.
I believe that's the first strikeout of the day for Search. Here's Jim Kelly. Out there towards shallow right. And he drops the ball. Kelly advancing towards second. And that throw is in plenty of time to retire the side. Kelly trying to stretch it. And it's ineffective. We'll go to the top of the third. Still no score. All right, so here in the top of the third, still no score. A lot of runners getting on base and just not really finding ways to score. First pitch to Pat Talley, swing and a miss.
And you saw that ball fall in. They tried to extend it. Jimmy Kelly, he tried to extend it to get the second on it. I agree with that. With 2 outs, take a shot.
Yeah.
And yeah, especially in that situation, sometimes if a fielder misses a ball, he'll be frustrated and just kind of not really go at the ball quickly, thinking the guy's not going to go to second. And at this point, to manufacture runs with 2 outs, you've got to take chances. Unfortunately for Sterling, he grabbed the ball and had not a perfect throw, but the second baseman scooped it, or shortstop, whoever it was, covering second. And
yeah, that was a good recovery. So Talley trying to get on here early for Collingswood. Pitch is foul. He'll stay alive. And the pitch from Chandler is just a bit high. So the count will be full at 3-2. Here's the 3-2. Out there toward the mound, gloved by Chandler. And the throw to first is in time. So 1 gone here in the top half of the third. So here's Miles DiVincentis, or DiVincentis. First pitch there from Chandler. In there for a strike. Showed the bunt sign for a moment. Here's the 0-1. Foul tip. I'll go off the knee of the catcher, Williams. It's 0-2. So far, Chandler doing a very good job here so far. Here's the 0-2. Out there towards second. Ruiz is under it. He'll make the catch. 2 away. So here's Noah Waldron. Waldron 0 for 1 so far. First pitch. In there for a strike. Here's the 0-1. In the dirt. 1-1 the count. Chandler again 1-2 this year with an ERA of 5.83. Out there in foul grounds. He's got plenty of room. He'll make the catch. Bogolski making the grab to retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Still no score. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Sean Stone will lead off for Sterling. Here in the bottom half of the third. Still no score. Again, a lot of runners getting on base and just not finding ways to score. Here's the first pitch from Search. Just a bit low, 1-0. Out there to short. On a hop, throw to first. Is in time to get Stone. So back to the top of the order. Here's Brandon Williams. A lot of hard hit balls from both teams today. Again, a lot of them are at defenders. So again, here's Brandon Williams. Welcome back, Schulze.
Hey, hey, hey. What did I miss? I was kind of...
Ground out by Sean.
Okay. Brandon Williams getting a base hit his first time up.
Come on, Brad. Go 18. Good eye.
Pitch is pretty high, 2-1. Out there to short. Throw to first is in time. Back-to-back ground outs to shortstop. Here for Sterling, 2 away.
Game's just flying along here.
Yeah, a lot of quick outs for both sides. This will be Christian Ruiz.
And that's going to benefit the pitchers, obviously, when you're, get to the middle or later innings and you still have a relatively low pitch count.
Ruiz has sacrificed bunt. In his last at bat, he'll take a strike.
And now in high school, this is probably over the last 5-6 years, they go by pitch counts. I know prior to that, I'm pretty sure it was more of an inning type thing. So you could have, say if you could go 7 innings, I don't even remember what it was, but there would be kids in games pitching throwing 130 pitches.
Swing and a miss struck him out. So that will end things here in the third. We'll go to the top half of the fourth. Scoreless game. Have fun, Jensen. Yep. Oh no. God, Nick's gonna be the one in charge next year. That's true. We should do that. Yep. Very eventful 3-1 feed. No, there hasn't not been much going on in this game. Yeah, this is the top of the fourth. team will get a run, the home team will still have a chance. All right, so we're back here in the top half of the fourth. Still no score. It'll be Nate Ifey to lead off for Collingswood. He'll foul it off. So far, pretty good work here from both pitchers today. Here's the 0-1. Out there to short. Throw by Stone is in time to get Ifey one away. Schulze's disappeared from me again, but I'm sure he'll be back soon. Here's A.J. Justice. First pitch from Chandler. Out toward the mound. And that throw's going to be away into right field as Justice will take second base. And he'll stop there. So now runner on scoring position for Collingswood. The pitch was out toward the mound. Chandler had to come off the mound. Didn't field it properly and then threw to first way offline. So overall, just not a very good sequence defensively there for Sterling, which is something they've had a problem with all year for the most part. That'll be, I believe, their 35th error this entire season.
All right, forget about it now. Move on.
Shake it off. Let's go.
Schulze's back.
Back, just had to step away a little bit.
Did you see what happened?
I did not.
So when it went to Chandler, fielded it a bit, fielded it improperly, then he threw to first. It was offline and went into right field.
Oh.
And so Justice took second.
Yeah, we have a lot of area in that right field, down that right field line. It's where you always want it's good to have your right fielder back things up, and even obviously behind the plate, we've got a lot of room back there.
Here's Tim Search. He's done a great job on the mound so far. Pitch is in the dirt. Runner on second, one away. Pitch is away and outside.
Come on, Ryan, settle in, kid.
I'm not sure if that field or one at a time here. Here we go, one at a time.
Chandler
Make him hit. Gotta hit the
gonna have to settle down here if he wants to keep this game scoreless. And the pitch
There you go. There
in
you
there
go.
for a strike.
Let's go.
Chandler looking to bounce back.
An extra time, Ryan. Extra time for two. Extra time.
Back to second.
And you said it, Brian, with the you just got to bear down, take a deep breath, keep doing what you've been doing the entire time. It looks like Ryan Chandler is doing that.
Just got to keep these hitters honest and these base runners. Outside, and that'll walk him. So it'll be runners on first and second. At least now, with the runners on first and second, if it were to just go to third,
You get
Wright
the
could
force.
just tag the bag and get the force out.
Come on, Ryan. Bear down.
So that would keep the lead runner off base. Here's Ben Auerbach. Pinch runner at first. Runners on first and second, one away. Sterling does have a chance to get a double play.
There you go. Nice pitch,
And that
Ryan.
breaking ball in there for a strike.
That's still showing confidence in your command. A couple runners on, and have confidence to start the hitter off with the breaking ball and throwing it for a strike.
Nice pitch.
Swing and a miss. Beautiful pitch there from Chandler. His breaking ball has looked pretty unstoppable so far
Not real
today.
hard, but boy, it's got a ton of movement on it.
None of these Collingswood hitters have really been able to get much contact on it, whether it being inside or on the outside part of the plate. Throw back to second, not in time.
And if you don't feel good, just step off. Otherwise, look at the bag. Here we go now. 1 out.
And runners go. The pitch is high, and that'll go into left field. No throw to home, run will score. So Collingswood gets on the board first. That'll make it a 1-0 game. Williams, his throw to third was way high over the glove of Reich.
And that's the other thing, you're throwing a lot of breaking balls. Some teams will take advantage of it. You saw there just trying to manufacture a run by going with the steal, and it worked out for them.
That pitch was fouled away.
You know, in this situation, I agree with the way both teams are approaching it. You want to take chances. You know, we talked about Kelly extending that, trying to get the second on that error to right field and getting thrown out. But I think it's a good move. You've got to be creative and try and come up with ways to get offense when you're not getting it traditionally with a lot of hits. And stealing bases, being aggressive, that's your best chance of doing it.
For the most part, both these teams have tried to get runs any means necessary, not just by hits. Here's it's a short, bobbled by Stone. So the runner will be safe at first. Runner moves from second to third, so it's runners on the corners. Still with one away.
Stay with it, Rye. Stay with it, Rye. Stay with it.
Ryan looking a bit flustered out there on the mound. Here's Justin Pila. We'll see if the runner goes to second so they can prevent Sterling from getting a double play. Pitch inside. 1-0. And I think disadvantages for runners at first trying to steal is Chandler's a lefty, so he's going to know way easier if a runner from first is stealing second. I think it's a big benefit for lefties in this day and age. That pitch is fouled off.
Yeah, and with the lefty, you know, right-hander, you kind of see them lift that leg and you know they're going home. Whereas with the lefty, you lift the leg and they could still be coming to first, and then you got to wait for them to commit to it and have that leg move towards the plate.
So there's a trick depending on where the leg is located. Pitch fouled off, so.
There's guys that just will lift that leg for almost, it seems like a couple seconds, and then and it goes a long way in freezing the runner.
Kind of like guys in the majors like Johnny Cueto, and because I've seen the way he pitches, he holds his leg up in there for like 3-4 seconds every pitch.
Yeah.
Pitch is high.
Probably as much as he's missed on a pitch right there.
This is definitely the longest we've seen any team be on the bases or be hitting all day today. That'll be high as well. So 1-0, Collingswood on top. They're trying to add on. So here's the pitch to Pila. Swing and a miss. Runner goes from first. And that throw is in there to get him. And Sterling gets out of the inning with just letting up the one. So Collingswood, they get on the board first. And a nice double play there will only give Collingswood the 1-run lead. We'll go to the bottom half of the fourth, 1-0 Collingswood. Hello everyone, welcome back. Here in the bottom half of the fourth, Sterling trails this one 1-0 against Collingswood. Joe Lomas will lead off for Sterling.
Good eye, kid.
There for a ball, 1-0. Lomas lined out in his last at bat. 1-0 in there for a strike. Looks like to be in a similar spot to the first pitch, which was called a ball. Here's the 1-1 to Lomas. Out there to third, that's into left field, a base hit for Joey. And a great way to start it off offensively for Sterling, as they're trying to answer back.
And you really have an opportunity to grab the momentum in this game. You know, you got the one run, but that's all you got. And that was an inning, and I think you mentioned it, Brian, where it looked like it could have been Collingswood getting 3 runs, but coming up with that play and getting out of it with only 1 run, and then you get the hitter on right here with Joe Lomas. It really, you could feel the bench get a little fired up.
Swing and a miss from Gogolski. And I think the momentum was kind of everywhere in that inning, because it first started off with the run from Collingswood, and then with that double play to end it off.
Yep.
The strikeout and then the throw to second base. I think that shifted this night's momentum drastically. Gets the sacrifice bunt. Catcher throws to first. That'll be in time. Lomas heads to second. Great sacrifice from Gogo.
Yeah, that's an excellent bunch. Talk about just dying right there. And both times, I think we call Christian Ruiz and Anthony Gogolski right there.
Yeah, both
Bunt,
those.
fundamentally the way you want to do it. It's down a little low. Bend your knees to go down for it. You don't have to lower. You're not lowering your arms. You're bending your knees, and just an outstanding job there by the freshman Anthony Gogolski.
Here's Zach Reich.
Mr. Sean Clank is here joining us.
Maybe? No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know if my mic was on or not.
Mr. K got us a nice big TV.
Yeah, I like this.
We just need a step ladder.
Yeah,
Nice.
other than a TV that blocks the view of the game, right?
I'm not used to a big TV like this, honestly. I was
Yeah.
surprised when I got here.
Yeah, nice monitor here.
And that'll go into right center field, a base hit for Zach Reich. Lomas will stop at third. So now
Yeah.
runners on the corners for Sterling, as they're trying to answer from the run that Collingswood got last inning.
And that's a play where if there's 1 out, correct? Right.
No, there's no outs, I don't think.
Well, the
Actually,
sacrifice.
Oh, yeah,
the
so 1 out
sacrifice.
from Gogolski.
And that's a play, I think if there were 2 outs, they might have tested the arm and taken a shot on it. But to what we were saying earlier, with 1 out, you got the runner on there,
And
you're going to hold him up.
it looks like Reich kind of hurt his foot rounding first. That'd be a big loss for Sterling. That's their starting third baseman. Clank had to leave here for a minute. He's going to go check on
He
Zach.
got on all 45 seconds. And he complained about the TV blocking his view. So I don't know.
He was out of
we
here
got to
in a
talk to
hurry.
Mr. K, see if that's allowed. See if he's allowed on now.
Reich, a very speedy third baseman. Hoffman out there checking on him, as well as Mr. K, our very own Mr. K.
And Brian, we talked about it. You know, you see Sterling in this inning, maybe hopefully grabbing some momentum, but just by putting the ball in play and staying back on the pitches, just getting your bat on it. It sounds simple, but you know, they've had games this year where they've had 9, 10 strikeout games, and that is one thing that really frustrates coaches.
So I believe yesterday, Sterling struck out a total of 11 times, and they just had 2 hits offensively.
Yeah, you can't do much, and from what I was told, Zach Reich had a pretty good pitching performance yesterday. So, but it's tough for your pitchers when you almost have to be perfect out there.
It was actually Reich who had one of just the 2 base hits Sterling did have. It was him and Williams. Reich will exit the field. So Sterling might have to, will bring out a pinch runner.
Well, it's good to see him walking off under his own power, and I'm sure it's just kind of
That's got to be
precautionary.
So Evan Miller will come into the game to pinch run. So the runners on first and third for Sterling, 1 away. Ryan Chandler will be the hitter for Sterling. In there for a strike.
Here we go, right? Lay the bat on the ball somewhere, right?
Runners on first and third for Sterling. Lomas at third, Miller at first. That was not called a strike, so it'll even up the count at 1-1.
Serge has been going with the straight fastball. That looked like it might have been a slider. Had a little bit of break to it, but we've seen this straight fastball a little bit more.
Pitch in the dirt off the mask of the catcher for Collings with A.J. Justice.
That's a nice play by Justice because you know, the toughest ball to block is one that bounces before the plate. And he's
Get
still
your whole body in front
Oh
of it.
yeah, they're tough ones because sometimes you don't know which way they're going. And obviously, we've got a lot of room behind us here.
That pitch is foul.
You're more of a goaltender back there than you really are.
Oh, yeah.
You know, thinking about catching it or try to backhand it. And he really did an outstanding. Saved a run right there, basically.
Above your hands, downstairs, stand tall, hit the ball.
Here's the 1-2. And a called strike 3. Big strikeout there for Collingswood.
Yeah, just as I said, he's been going a lot more with that straight fastball. There he goes to that over the top 12-6 curveball for the strikeout.
In there for a strike to Valeriano. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Catcher giving signs to his pitcher.
Chop the tree. Relax. Come on, one. One more cake.
Runners at first and third, 1-0 Collingswood. Breaking ball there with a lot of movement, but a bit high. Sterling started off with a runner on second and nobody out, and now runners at the corners with 2 gone. And the pitch. That will go foul right behind Sterling's dugout.
Put it in play. Short stroke. Stand tall. Hit the ball. Come on, okay, let's go. Nice and relaxed.
Base hit should tie this game.
Come on, okay.
All you, kid.
Fouled away, stays alive.
That's a good job by Valeriano on a good breaking ball and to a good spot. Real good defensive, fighting it off type of swing.
Come on, stay stationary, kid. Anything close, nothing above your hand.
Again, 1-0 Collingswood. Sterling trying to answer. And the pitch.
All right, way to hang.
And that one's foul as well.
Was up a little bit.
Overall, a wonderful battle from Valeriano.
No doubt about it.
Make it throw more. Once again, concentrate. Nothing above your hand. Stop. Lock it. Three.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. So Sterling, with 2 runners on, not able to capitalize. This game will stay 1-0. We'll go to the top of the 5th. Again, 1-0 Collingswood on top. All right, so welcome back. Here in the top half of the 5th, Collingswood leads at 1-0. Sterling were not able to capitalize after having 2 runners on. So it'll be Andrew Shell to lead it off in there for a strike.
Good job by Search, getting into some trouble and coming back in that inning. One thing I saw there too, and we mentioned it as
that's out to left field in for a base hit. So Shell will stay at first. Leadoff knock for Collingswood.
But you saw, Search was throwing some fastballs, but when he needed it, threw the breaking ball to that last hitter. And with a man on third, some guys don't like going to that because sometimes you go in the dirt and you're worried about it. And we talked about this deep backstop here, but I'll go back to the job Justice did as a catcher, getting in front of the ball with the block, and I think Search had a lot of confidence.
Sacrifice bunt. Throw to first is under the legs of Gogolski. That'll go into right field. Runner will head to third. So it's now runners at the corners for Collingswood and nobody out. A rough way to start it off if you're Sterling.
Man, that's a tough one right there, and I don't know that the ball was kind of in line with where the runner was. Gogolski might not have been able to really pick that up.
That is
with the runner kind of in the way there.
That's 2 bunts that have been kind of mishandled by Sterling today defensively. All the infielders coming in to talk to each other about their situation.
And you know it's coming because we've seen with both teams, you get the runner on, no matter who's up, how hot of a hitter they are, they're going to try and move them over.
Collingswood with already a 1-0 lead. They have runners at the corners, nobody out. Here is Devinkitis. I've definitely said his name wrong, but we'll go with it.
I'm going to say DeVincentis,
DeVincentis. All right, we'll go with that.
but I've probably pronounced more wrong names than anybody
That will go foul.
in the history of Channel 19.
Mr. K definitely, he did tell me before the game, but to be completely honest with him, I forgot.
It's okay, you had a
It's
lot
all
on your
right.
mind.
Yeah, that's what we'll say. Here's the 0-1. That will also go foul.
We always say the best lineups are always a bunch of Smith, Jones, Jenkins,
Yeah.
Whites, just the simple names.
Here's the 0-2 to Miles. Breaking ball, ooh, very close. Very close pitch there.
Yeah, that looked good, and Williams did a good job framing it in the outside corner.
Here's the 1-2. Popped up. Catch is made. Big out there for Sterling. Chandler's definitely held his composure
No doubt.
for almost the entirety of this game, because there's been a lot of times in this game where Collingswood, they've had multiple runners on, but Chandler's been able to get out of it with very little damage, as this definitely could be more than just a 1-0 game. Here's Noah Waldron. Out toward the mound. No throw to second, so they'll just get the throw to first. So there's now 2 away. Runners now on second and third.
Yeah, that's an outstanding job by Chandler. First, getting that on a short hop. That was not an easy play.
No,
And then looking the runner back
that's
and getting
something.
that big second out.
That's something Chandler struggled with earlier. Here's Nate Ifey. Good block there by Williams.
Yeah, and I'll say the same thing I said about Search with Injustice about Chandler and Williams. Chandler has confidence throwing that breaking ball with a runner at third because he knows Williams is the type of kid, you saw it right there, that can go down and block it.
Line out to third. That is into left field, a base hit. 1 run will score. Here comes another. And he'll come home safely. 2 runners score on the RBI single, as it's now a 3-0 Collingswood lead.
Now that's the biggest hit of the day for Collingswood, and obviously a tough one for Sterling, a Sterling team that looked like they could have possibly gotten out of another inning there.
As it looked like after the pop out and the ground out there, it seemed like Sterling would get out of it, but right there. So another swinging bunt. His throw way. That might go out of play. They're going to keep running. 1 run will score. It's now 4-0. Collingswood, a little triple-ish there.
I think they thought
It
was
might have
off
hit
his
off
foot.
of him, yeah. Hoffman will come out to chat with the umpire about this.
he's going to check with the base ump, and I don't think the base ump feels like he saw enough to overturn it the way I'm looking at
I don't think
what he's saying in his body
don't-
language.
I don't think there's going to be room enough to overturn it. Hoffman trying to plead his case. From what it looks like, this will stay as called.
Mr. Clank back here. Everything okay over there?
Yeah, I got pressed into duty.
You did.
Yeah,
They gotta knock that off.
this is an unlucky seat. Yeah, got to make sure that.
So runner at third for Collingswood as it's now 4-0.
Nice job by Brandon Williams down there blocking.
Yeah, we were saying that. Gives a pitcher more confidence throwing a breaking ball. The runner on third.
Yeah, he's been very good behind the plate today. Very balanced player for Sterling. He got the first hit of the game for Sterling, a leadoff knock. Outside.
Yeah, coming into the season, you know, that's always the coach's biggest concern is how we're going to, you know, if you have enough pitching, and you know, can we throw all of our pitches and everything else? And so far, our pitching's actually come through so far this year. So, unfortunately, our defense hasn't been hasn't been the most stable, and that's actually been our weakness this year.
And you've probably seen more games than me, but that's kind of what I've been hearing. And we haven't hit. So
Yeah.
but to our credit today, we're at least putting the ball in play. We're not getting as many strikeouts. I mean, yesterday was a tough strikeout day against Highland.
Popped up, that'll go foul.
Well, Highland, I believe, is the #1 seed in Group 3 right now, so they're a very good team.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good team.
Who was you might remember? Who was I knew they had a left-hander on Collingswood that was a real good pitcher. Was going to Kentucky about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, the name's
Remember
escaping me right now.
Yeah, I couldn't remember either.
That's out to center field. That's going to, did he make the catch?
Wow.
He made the catch out there in center.
Yeah, nice job by Christian Valiano. We
He's
know
been-
that we see Christian on the football field having good hands, and he's displaying that on the baseball
I did the
field.
same.
here.
I said the same thing when he made a nice play earlier. It's a case of football is a little like going after a baseball in center field, and that's a great play there by Valeriano.
So Collingswood, they get a couple runs on the board as they take a 4-0 lead. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th here at the Castle. All right, so welcome back. We're here in the bottom of the 5th.
Hey, Jim.
Sterling trailing at 4-0. Tim Search still on the mound for Collingswood. As Jim Kelly will lead it off for Sterling.
Yeah, while the season's halfway over, the season's fairly new for Jim. He missed quite a bit of time. He had an appendectomy earlier this
Oh,
year.
man.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he just came back here. So he wanted me to tell everybody so far Sterling's 2-1 when he's in the lineup.
Ah, okay.
Come on now, 4. Let's go, kid.
Maybe he'll springboard a big rally here.
pitch will go foul.
Come on, Jimmy, don't reach for anything when you're ahead. Come on now.
So Sterling trying to get some late inning heroics as they trail it 4-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. Still got time. That'll go off the mask of the catcher's search.
Mr. Clank had to go up a little bit higher here, but make sure you do not fall back off that chair. I don't know if our liability covers you sitting in a dangerous position like this.
Precarious is my middle name. So Jimmy, a nice hitters count here. Ball sails over. Is that ball 4? Or is that ball 3? I
I
thought
believe
it was a
that's
3-1 count.
3.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a 3-1 count. So good hitters count here for Jimmy.
Come on out, Four. Keep fighting. Good fight.
Fouls it off, stays alive.
Yeah, make Search throw some more pitches. Brian, what would you, if you had to guess, what would you say his pitch count is right now?
Well,
You think
I'd
he's
say
mid-70s?
earlier in the game, Sterling was swinging very early. So
Yeah.
I think right now, I'd say he's in about late 50s, 60s.
Oh, wow, okay.
Out towards second. Fielded on a hop for the first in time.
You're right, though. There were some quick, I mean, the last couple innings we made him throw a few more pitches, but there probably were a couple, maybe 10, 12 pitch innings early on.
I'd say he's probably in his like mid to late 60s. That's what
Okay.
I'll go with. All right,
Wow.
so we're 49 pitches.
I was way off.
So was
at
I.
70.
Thank Mr. Farr there.
Sean Stone comes up the plate. Swings at the first one.
Hands above the ball now. Hands above the ball.
Sean's a 9-hitter today.
Go right to it. Chop the 3, babe. Chop it. Come on now, Stone. Let's go. Let's go, 1-4. Go, kid.
I wonder if Mr. Farr is actually overhearing us or he's watching us on YouTube. We'll have to get confirmation between innings.
I would say he's probably over here. I mean, I'd say he
Kinda
sits right
loud,
here. So
yeah. I don't think he's got his phone out.
He's hearing the
That'd be a
nice
violation.
dulcet tones of Brian there.
That's right.
He's
Come on, 4. Come on, kid.
overhearing. 0-2 count here for Sean.
Come on, kid. Great eye, great eye.
a lot of movement on that breaking ball makes it 1-2.
I feel like I'm sitting next to that kid in class that leans back on his seat. Mr. Clank's trying to get above the monitor here.
Come on, 4.
Yeah, I like to see the
Yeah.
to see the action as it's progressing.
Yeah.
I'm in a bad seat here.
We got a
behind the monitor.
big monitor at our table right now.
I'm pretty good. I'm located where I can still just see the batter. But
Yeah, you have a left eye, right eye situation here.
you're right.
You see that
I
left
got to
eye
make
and
sure
right
I'm
eye.
looking out of the proper eye.
That pitch in the dirt. See, I think I see pretty well. It's just I mainly have to like lean over to see most of the third base side into left field.
And
But
That's the
overall-
tough part about it, yeah.
Yeah. So I'd have to rely on the monitor if a pitch were, if a ball were to be hit out there.
Here it is.
And
Right
I'll
on
do
cue.
that as that'll go into left field, a base hit.
We're on cue. Sean Stone. A nice swing on
Fine
that ball.
drive, yeah, real good. Really turned on it. Probably one of the harder hit balls today.
Yeah, nice swing. I mean, the ball came in. He was the first swing. He actually swung up at a pretty high pitch and put himself in a negative count there. But it's always important as you're coaching. You always want the bottom of the lineup to get on base. And you know, Sean batting 9th, and you're turning the lineup over now with Brandon Williams. It's so important as you're coaching and getting in the lineup. And yeah, you always want to try to do damage to the bottom line because the other team's not really expecting it.
Here's Brandon Williams again.
And it looks like Stone took advantage of a straight fastball, something to what you're saying that you're going to see a little bit more if you're hitting a little lower in the lineup.
Here's the pitch in there for a strike.
We got Brandon Williams up here. Brandon, I'm not sure exactly what the numbers are, but I think he's our best hitter throughout the whole season here.
It was him and Zach Reich who had the 2 hits yesterday against Highland.
Nothing above your hands. Discipline now.
Williams, according to this, is coming. Well, we missed yesterday's game, so it's probably higher than that if he had a couple hits at 357. So again, I'm sure he's higher than that at this point.
I believe he has 1 hit today, correct?
Yeah, so.
Right up
Make
the
that
middle.
2.
Nice
That'll
hit
be
right up the middle.
back-to-back hits.
Stone rounds and stays on second base. There's a center fielder, nice job coming up.
We've said a lot of things on cue today. Maybe if we say Christian Ruiz will hit a 3-run homer, maybe it'll happen. Who knows?
There you go. I got to say right now with Christian Ruiz, a lot of room in right field, so get it over to first baseman's head, and
You're not kidding.
we'll see
Yep.
some running here.
Again, Collins with a 4-0 lead. Sterling trying to get on the board. That runner gets away. Runner goes to third. The throw not in time. So it's now runners on second and third with 1 away.
Good base running there by Sean Stone, picking that up as it comes out of the comes out. Sometimes with the right-handed batter, it's hard to pick up, but he did a nice job of picking that up right away as the ball got away from the catcher.
And as you were saying, if that ball were, if Ruiz can hit it here in the right field gap, that should easily score. Both runners now.
Yeah.
2-0 to Ruiz.
Interesting. It looked like the right fielder took a step towards the right field line once the runner got off of first base. All right, nice hitters count here.
Here's the pitch. In there for a strike.
That'd be perfect.
Christian looks for one here.
Swing hard. Drop the tree. Hands the ball hard.
That is.
Here's Christian puts a charge in it, goes past the left field.
So an RBI for Ruiz. 1 run scores for Sterling. They get on the board. It's now
Yeah.
a 4-1 game.
Yeah, nice job by Christian Ruiz, but I don't know if Brandon Williams didn't pick that up and thought the ball was going to be caught in the air. He got stuck on second base there and really didn't advance. So now we got runners in first and second with Stone scoring.
So here is Joe Lomas.
I couldn't see where, like you said, looking through 2 fences, a lot of times you're.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if
Actually, 3 fences, you lose track of the ball over there to the left side.
I couldn't really tell if that ball was caught out there and left or not. That's popped up
Ball's
out
in
there
the air.
towards third.
They're calling an infield fly.
So that'll make it 2 away. Here is Gugolski.
Got our 4 hitter up here, Anthony Nagolski. Talented freshman, who also was our 165-pounder in the wrestling team this year.
Breaking ball in there for a strike.
Stay back. Looking on the barrel. Where you like them. Above your hands. Get off, Brandon.
Pitch is high. 1-1 the count to Gugolski.
Good discipline. Nothing above your hands.
Boy, if he could turn and want to drive it down the right field line, you're still looking at that right fielder giving a lot of room. Get the ball over to first baseman's head.
Yeah. Oh, kind of held the trigger there once again on a off-speed pitch.
It's now 1-2. 2 outs for Sterling. Runners on first and second. 4-1 Collingswood lead. Here in the bottom half of the 5th. And a called strike 3. Gugolski not liking that.
Yeah, It's a pretty fortunate call there for Collingswood.
Yeah.
And that will retire the side. We'll go to the top of the 6th. Runners, 2 runners left on for Sterling as they get 1. It's 4-1 Collingswood.
Yeah.
Good for him. He's a hard worker, man. I give him credit.
All right, so here in the top half of the 6th, Collingswood with a 4-1 lead.
And Ryan Chandler returned to the mound.
Swing and a miss by Arbach.
Here we go, Ryan. Come on, dude.
And it's so important behind the plate here that you have confidence in your catcher that you're able to throw all your off-speed compliments.
We've seen. It seems to me both pitchers have thrown a lot of first pitch breaking balls. You saw Chandler right there, and it's good because a lot of times you get hitters who are looking. That's when they feel like that's their best chance to get that first pitch fastball, and they're looking for it. It goes a long way and
think
keeping
both-
hitters off bounds.
Yeah, both pitchers today have done a great job with their breaking ball stuff. Because look at that. That's a strikeout for Chandler.
Yeah, nice job by Ryan.
I was saying to Brian, and that might have been the pitching when you see those hitters kind of lunging at it. It looks like it could be, and again, from our vantage point, it's tough to see, but that two-seamer from a left-hander that's going to go away from the right-handed hitter.
I think they're anticipating it breaking over the plate, and then when it stays on the outside, they kind of lunge for
Right.
it. So he's done a nice job of keeping hitters off balance all year long.
Justin Pila will take a ball.
Yeah, and to what you were saying, we were talking about earlier, the pitching's been pretty solid. It's just been giving teams, you give up 4 and 5 outs an inning, you're not going to win a lot of games that way.
Yeah.
Because the majority, I think, the runs that Sterling's given up has been off errors because the one throw into right field, a couple throws to Gogolski at first have just kind of sailed over him.
Yeah, it's tough to win 7-inning games when you give 9 innings worth of outs.
Right.
So
So the bunt sign in there for a strike.
yeah, a little interesting that they would call a bunt there. I don't know if he saw something or third base was back, but it looked like Evan Miller was in, even with the grass. So
Out there toward the mound. Actually out towards second. Throw to first by Ruiz is in time.
2 down here in the 6.
Have you checked out the JV game down there, Mr. Clank? Early on, I know you got here about an inning or so ago, or any update on what was going on down there?
We were actually down 1-0 at the beginning of the game. I mean, that's
Okay.
that's kind of when I left there. We had a lacrosse game and a volleyball game going on today, so I've been
You're all over the place.
doing the athletic training tour.
Here's Andrew Shell. I think JV is 7-3 this year, having a way better year this year than last year.
Good.
Chop foul.
Nice job by Chandler. Again, nice thing about his the way Ryan Chandler's pitching, he's not overthrowing. So when you pitch comfortably like that, you tend not to get tired. You tend not to get arm soreness. And ground ball to second to Ruiz.
And that will retire the side.
Let's get some back. Let's get some back.
We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. 4-1 Collingswood on top. So here in the bottom of the 6th, here's Evan Miller to lead it off. He's in for Zach Reich, who got injured rounding first.
Evan, a freshman.
Pitch is high. Collings with a 4-1 lead.
I know, I saw it. Good eye. You now, kid. Let's go. Your count. Let's go.
Yeah, interesting. It's such a big jump going from club baseball and town baseball to a high school team. So to see a freshman make that jump, you're always pretty impressed that they're able to come in and and step right into the varsity level.
Yeah,
So-
facing kids that are a couple years older than you.
4-pitch walk to Miller.
We have Ryan Chandler up here. So after 4 balls, you would expect to at least watch till he throws a strike here.
5, Rye.
And Search probably now. I mean, do you think he was 49, and we got a few runners on. You think he's mid-60s now? Or you think he might be at 70?
I'd say he's probably around 70.
Test to see if Mr. Farr's listening to us.
But who knows with our guesses, because the last time we guessed his pitch count, we were way off. So
We were, yeah, that was a tough one.
I will confidently say it's more than 49.
oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Way to step out.
It's a nice hitter's count here for Ryan. He has a big hole on the right-hand side. So
That'll go behind the catcher. Miller will get to second safely.
I almost thought he got hit there for a second, but I guess he just
He had to use his
kinda hopped out of
hops.
the way.
yeah, hopped out of the way.
So now a runner in scoring position for Sterling, which is something they obviously desperately need.
Ball down in the dirt. There's back-to-back walks here. As we have Christian Valeriano coming up.
And looks like there will be a mound visit for Collingswood.
Christian has made 2 stellar plays in the outfield today. Now trying to help Chandler out with the bat.
And that's something you see pitchers missing by a lot. And Search he was right around the plate, good location, but when they start to miss by a lot, that's when you feel like maybe they're starting to tire a little bit. And to what you said, Sean, man, if he throws 4 throwing the consecutive balls, just let him throw pitches. Try to see a lot of pitches.
Well, the big thing now is not to help him out.
Right,
You
right,
know,
yep.
don't swing at the balls. So, I know Valeriano likes the high pitches, but especially now if he's coming up, you want to try to let him come to you rather than help him out.
So Jameer Green will come in to run for Ryan Chandler at first.
There you have a courtesy runner here. Jameer Sr.
Definitely has that speed on the bases. Valeriano
Jameer
up to the plate.
Jameer's one of the favorites among his teammates. He's well liked amongst all of his teammates.
Jameer, a very supportive teammate. I played with him last year. He is just overall a great guy. Love to have him as a teammate.
Yeah, no matter what Mr. Schultz says. Yeah, he's really.
Always rolled me under the bus here. That's why we have you here.
Christian looks at a strike there.
I never had Jameer in class, but I heard good things about him. That's what you guys are saying.
Ball outside. I believe it's a 3-1 count here, correct?
Yeah.
Nice hitters counts for Christian.
Here's the 3-1.
But he sends one
Out
out to left
there.
field, and
That's a fair ball.
fair ball. Looks like they
An out.
called an out.
Wow.
Called it out in the air. Which is weird. It looked like the home plate umpire made that call, not the field umpire.
Yeah.
And he got out there. To his credit, he was
Yeah.
midway between the home plate and third.
Yeah.
It's a nice grab out there by Auerbach.
Yeah, you could say those type of plays are you want to say game-saving or game-changing type plays because that ball falls and gets by them. At least 2 runs score there. Because it's a long run for the center fielder to get over there to back up. So real nice play by the left fielder.
So runners on first and second, 4-1 Collingswood lead.
And that right there is an example how he's missing by a lot. Something you didn't necessarily see that much early on in this game that you're seeing now.
Here's Jim Kelly. Swing and miss. One gone here in the bottom half of the 6th.
Back
Out
Jim.
there into left. That
out.
will drop
It falls down.
in for a base hit. Miller to third, Green to second.
Yeah, kind of hung up there for a second, so it was kind of hard to judge from
Yeah.
Miller going out to second,
That's exactly right. It froze him.
and especially right after an outstanding play out there. The play before, you didn't know
Right.
if he was going to dive out there and come up with the catch.
So bases loaded for Sterling. Here's the power hitter, Tony Sanchez.
Let's go, Tone.
I've played both with and against Tony. He is ruthless. He is
Tony very aggressive at the plate, but he's batting here for Sean Stone. Only a sophomore.
seems like almost every time he's up to the plate, he's definitely hitting one in the outfield. Chopped foul.
What they used to say, he looks hitterish.
All right, Richie.
Yeah, he's always ready to swing the bat there.
Big at bat for Sterling. They trail it 4-1, bases loaded. 1 out. Popped up.
That's
Infield
unfortunate. They
fly.
call it infield fly there.
All right, Brandon. Brandon, cue.
So Brandon Williams will head up to the plate
So it's
here with 2 away.
it's a real big out for Collingswood there.
Yeah, and that was a real, we're talking about Search tired and missing a lot, but really bear down there and threw a good pitcher's pitch, a breaking ball in the lower outside part of the plate, and had Sanchez kind of reaching out for that. And boy, you're right,
Yeah,
Sean, that's a big out.
He definitely wanted to try to drive one there and got a little underneath of it. You got Brandon Williams up here. He said one of Sterling's better hitters here. See if he can create some havoc here.
And that'll hit him.
Pitch.
So a run will score for Sterling, as it's now a 4-2 ball game.
We'll take the RBI. It looks like we might be making a pitching change here.
So that looks like it will be all for Tim Search.
Overall, it's done a pretty nice job. A little out of control here, and like I said, the things you never want to give up is you don't want to give up walks, and he started to do that in the last couple innings here.
Yeah, I don't know if we had, and at one point he threw, I think, 5 straight balls, and I don't think you could have said that at any point up to this inning that he had done that.
And then he ran long counts on both Aliano. Earlier, I think it was a 3-2 count that he sent out to left field. So I'm not sure who's coming in here.
On a separate note, Sean, I think aren't we getting lunch tomorrow for Teacher Appreciation Week?
Yeah, I never feel appreciated, so we'll see. No, it's teasing. Yes, we are. We are getting lunch. Fortunate enough, the administration is reaching out to and taking care of us tomorrow.
Where are you guys getting lunch from?
I think it's that truck. The truck come by. I was just trying to think what because we got something in our email to make an order.
Yeah, we had to make an order. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's coming through the cafeteria or if we have, or if it's somebody else coming in from the outside bringing lunch.
Yeah, we had that truck earlier in the year. That was good.
Yeah.
So it looks like for Collingswood, it's Miles D, whatever his last name is.
For a little guy, it looks like he can throw pretty hard.
No, I don't know any Spanish.
What number?
28.
28. DeVincentis. Okay. So it looks like we're coming up here at Christian Ruiz.
Again, bases loaded for Sterling. They've scored 1 run this inning. So it's now a 4-2 Collingswood lead.
Yeah, we talked about
was the
before.
first baseman.
Yeah, and then we talked a little about before about the
Let's go, Christian, come on.
being patient for a pitch to hit, but with the reliever coming in, with no room to spare, it's probably a good bet you're going to get a strike coming in there the first pitch. So you want to try to get ahead of the hitters.
Yep.
On the barrel. Tap the tree.
Come on, Kristen. Go.
Use the pitch to Ruiz. Swing and
Chop
miss.
the tree.
And you kind of knew a fastball was probably going to come too.
That's a pitch there. It looks like Christian dropped his hands a little bit and tried to uppercut that ball.
You might hear from Senior K. Chop the tree.
Yes. It's down 0-2 here. So he really has to protect the plate here.
Big at bat for Sterling. Here's the 0-2.
Good eye.
Short stroke. Put it in play. Anything close
Takes
downstairs.
the ball down low. 1-2.
Short stroke. Hands to the ball. Chop that tree. Come
So
on.
here's the 1-2.
Good eye.
High and outside, 2-2. Sterling with already a run in this inning. Score is 4-2 Collingswood here in the bottom half of the 6th.
All right.
Out into
He's out left field.
left.
It's a foul.
Foul.
Boy, walk down. Short stroke. That was good. Chop that tree. All right. Come on, babe.
Now, if you're Collingswood here, you try to make him chase something on the outside, and if it's on the outside of part of plate, you really like to see Christian go with this to right field. When he comes down.
It's a bit low, so that'll fill up the count.
He works his way back to full count. Big spot here for Christian.
Runners will be going.
Back, nothing above your hands.
Here's the 3-2 runners move on the pitch. Popped up, that will go out of play.
Don't forget, it's 3 balls.
And we'll start it over again.
So again, runners will move on this pitch.
Nothing above your hands. Discipline. Anything else?
I keep the and it's staring us right in the face. That room down the right field line, Sean. That would be, boy, with the runners going right now, you'd clear the bases.
In the dirt. Jameer will score. It's now a 4-3 ball game as Sterling finding their way back into it.
That's a nice at bat there by Christian Ruiz, getting down 0-2, found off a pitch there, and ultimately getting that walk to get Sterling within 1.
Yeah, it's a big at bat. Again, to get back in the games, you want what they say is you always want to try to win each at bat. And so now you have Joey Lomas up here, still with the bases loaded.
All right, good cut. You're on it.
That pitch goes foul.
And even with the bases loaded, you know as well, it's much harder to make a routine play in the infield when you have runners moving all around you.
Good eye.
So now 1-1 the count. That pitch looked a bit outside.
Key, get up there. Weight back. Remember you get full when they off speed pitch. Keep your weight back and use your hands.
In there for a strike, 1-2.
A little bell high fastball there.
Joe, you got protected.
In bases loaded. That is.
It's one in center field.
He'll make the catch.
It's put away by the center fielder.
To end the inning. Sterling gets 2. We'll go here in the top of the 7th, 4-3 Collingswood. All right, so welcome back here in the top of the 7th, 4-3 Collingswood. Sterling able to get a couple runs on the board thanks to some walks.
You got a hit by a pitch and a walk, so said we'll take them if they're going to give it to us. As Ryan Chandler returns back after the mound.
So here's Ryan Rogers for Collingswood.
And what a job by Ryan Chandler today. You know, you had some situations where there's been some errors, but just battling and staying with it, and has really done a good job keeping Sterling in the game and giving him a shot here.
Like we said, for the most part, Sterling's really getting their pitching's really kept them in games.
Right,
so far
right.
this year.
And this is probably, I guess, a typical of what's happened this season.
Yeah, so this is that was pitch 85 for Ryan there.
I know I went to the game first time around, and it was just a miserable day. It was cold, windy.
Right now, you just described every game except this week.
And Sterling, well, Sterling got ahead, and Anthony Gogolski did an outstanding job on the mound. I think he threw like 3 or 4 innings. And then, you know, to what's happened in a lot of games this year, we had a lot of errors, and I think we were up like 6-2 and ended up losing.
Pitch is high. We'll see who wins this Ryan versus Ryan battle. Right now, we're hoping it's the one on the mound. And the pitch. Fouled away.
You think Chandler's got to be in the 80s, right? Pitch count higher than that, maybe
Close to 90.
90.
Yeah, this is 88 coming up.
Okay.
So Mr. Farr said he had 82 coming into the center.
Oh, okay. I don't think I was here for that.
I've been counting the pitches.
I thought, okay, that little clicker down there.
That's right. I've been pulling the leg hairs out and counting them as I go along here.
And did he
on the
go?
swing, yes.
Yes, he did.
Nice job by Brandon Williams keeping that ball in front of him and tagging the runner and tagging the batter. Excuse me.
So one gone here in the top of the 7th. Here's my favorite player to announce, Miles DiVincentis. In there for a strike.
Hey, you almost need that echo function on your mic there, Brian.
That's out towards center field. Catch is made.
Christian Ruiz had a nice jump on the ball.
Yeah, he's really done a nice job out there today.
Yeah. You don't necessarily like to see that back pedal in the last 5 steps, but he had it well under control.
Yeah, Valeriano, he had that one diving catch earlier today. As well as a couple other good defensive plays, including that one. That's out to center field. And he'll make the catch. So we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Sterling trails it by 1. We'll see if they can get the win. We'll be right back. right, so welcome back. Here in the bottom half of the 7th, Collingswood leads at 4-3.
All right, we have
So as you might hear, Reich will be coming back into this game as Gogolski leads off in
Good
their
job
first
by our
strike.
trainer getting him back in there.
Yeah.
Kudos.
yeah, that guy deserves a lunch tomorrow. I think he deserves a chicken salad, right?
In there for a strike. Gogo not liking the call there.
Yeah, it's a inside corner.
Good discipline, nothing above your hands.
Here's the 0-2. And that's high.
You take that step, keep that weight back.
Again, Sterling trailing at 4-3 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, it's so important to try to get the leadoff runner on.
And a called strike 3. Great way to start it off if you're Collingswood.
That was a nice off-speed pitch, had some movement to it.
So here comes Zach Reich. He left the game earlier after he got injured rounding first. Thanks to our wonderful trainer. He's back in this game.
Did I ever tell you you're my favorite student, Brian? Just let you know.
I saw you between innings feed him like a cue card right there. I don't know. He was reading off something just now.
I might have to give him some of my chicken salad tomorrow, right? Zach up here.
Reich he has a base hit in this one. Pitch in the dirt. So one gone here in the bottom of the 7th. Foul tip off the glove. 1-1.
Zach, drop the three, Zach. Come on now. Last time, Dad. Come on.
Here's the 1-1. That will go foul, out of play. 1-2 the count.
Woo. You want
Here's the 1-2. That's out towards right field. That's pretty deep. And that one is at the wall. Zach going to second, and he will get there safely. And Reich is hyped.
Nice shot by Reich out there.
And the tying run is in scoring position.
Went with that fastball in the outer part of the plate.
My man Zach Reich making it interesting here in the bottom of the 7th.
More importantly, he rounded first perfectly on that one, didn't he?
Yeah.
But he nice drive, and we were talking about all that room in right field, and you see the right fielder turning there. And then kind of one hopped off the fence there.
So here's Ryan Chandler. Tying run at second base. The winning run at the plate. Pitch is a bit high, 1-0. Seeing some energy finally come from this Sterling dugout today.
Again, it's important to get a base runner here because if you noticed last inning when DeVincentis came in and was pitching from the stretch, he was actually he ran the count high a couple times, and he actually hit a batter. Or he walked a batter. I'm sorry, he didn't hit a batter, but he ran the count a little bit high. Once he got into the windup at the beginning of this inning, he seemed much more comfortable.
So it's 3-0 to Chandler. All three pitches low.
Got to be taken all the way here.
3-0. In the dirt, and that will walk Chandler. So the winning runner is at first. Reich at second. So Jameer Green will come back into the game to run for Chandler.
Now we're calling it. Jameer Green's going to score the winning run, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. I really hope so. Both runners on base with a lot of speed, so. So here we have
It's Christian
Valeriano.
Christian Valiano.
We keep calling for that line drive over the first baseman's head. It's got to happen at some point here, Sean.
Yeah.
The time is hopefully maybe during this at bat. Who knows?
Just that one that like tails and just gets in the line and
And DB tries to come out of the strike zone here.
In there for a strike.
oh, wow, that's a tough one there.
Yeah, that's a tough call, but Christian's got to keep his composure here.
Looks like the umpire has been expanding the zone as this game's gone along.
Umpires don't like when you walk away from the batter's box like that.
In the dirt.
When we were back playing, we used to affectionately call that the umpire strikes back when you do that. The next close pitch you're not going to get.
In there for a strike.
Got a 2-2 count here.
Runners on first and second. Sterling trails at 4-3. In the dirt. Throws back to second base.
Yeah, right. Pretty decent lead there. The ball was in the dirt.
So I believe it's a full count to Valeriano.
Full count. We're going to hit.
And a called strike 3. That's rough.
Yeah, well, he's been calling him at the knees, and that was definitely with 2 strikes. At this point, you don't want to.
Yeah, it's one of those situations you
go.
don't want to leave it in the
Close.
umpire's hands. You want to make sure you're swinging the bat.
So here's Jim Kelly. Last chance here for Sterling. Again, tying run is at second. So maybe this is the time.
Jimmy
where
Senior.
we can get an opposite field hit here. In the dirt. Good block there by the catcher, Justice. Out there into center field. And that will do it. That is a tough thing to see if you're Sterling.
Yeah, Sterling had plenty of opportunities today. Just missed that one key hit on several different occasions.
And
So-
definitely battled the whole way. We talked about Chandler doing a nice job on the mound. Had, what we say, got into the 90s with the pitch count, but, you know, fought through some struggles and definitely gave them what they needed, but Sterling just wasn't able to string the hits together.
So Sterling did trail it 4-0, almost came back, but eventually just not able to get it done here today. Collingswood gets the win, 4-3 the final score. The win will go to
Search, right?
Tim Search.
Yep. Pitcher of record.
So again, that will do it. Collingswood gets the win, 4-3 final score.